Junior number video. In this video, we're going to chat about percentage of a quantity again, and we're going to show you a slightly different, maybe a slightly easier technique than the previous video. Right, straight into example 1, and you might remember this is exactly the same as an example we looked at in the last video. Find 30% of $400. Well, let's go through the old technique first from the last video. We know percent means out of 100. So 30 out of 100 of 400. Of means to multiply or times. So 30 out of 100 times 400. So then we grabbed our calculator. Oh, that means divide, by the way. We grabbed our calculator and went 30 divided by 100 times 400. And that gave us our answer, which was $120. So 30% of $400 is $120. Well, I'm going to show you a different way, and some of you probably know this already, but let's see if you can follow along. We know 30% is a number out of 100, so if I quickly go 30 divide 100, that gives me the decimal of 0.3 or 0.30, same thing. So what I could do now is I could just go 0.30, multiply it by 400, and that would give me 120 straight away. Doesn't matter whether you go 0.3 or 0.30, the same number. But if I multiply the decimal by the quantity, it gives me the answer straight away. Now, with that in mind, let's go through some common things that you probably starting to get familiar with by now. 40%, you know we go 40 divide 100 because it's a number out of 100, and that gives us either 0.40 or 0.4, same thing. What about 42%? Well, 42 divided by 100 is 0.42. What about 18%? Well, that's equal to 0.18. 87% is equal to 0.87. Now, those are some of the easier ones. A little bit more tricky ones are like this. 7%. Don't say 0.7 because it's less than 10. It's 0.07. And 3% would be 0.03. And if we got a little bit tricky and said something like 14.5%, you could go 14.5 divided by 100, and that would give you 0.145. Right, now if you can try and remember some of those strategies, here's what we're going to do with this video. Example 2, find 23% of $800. Well, you just need to remember that 23% is equivalent to the decimal 0.23. So go 0.23 times 800, and that gives you the answer of $184. Right, what about find 8% of 15,526? Well, 8% is one of these tricky ones. It's less than 10, so don't go 0.8. It is 0.08. You need to remember that any number less than 10%, just chuck an extra 0 in there. So 8% is 0.08. And when I multiply that by the 15,526, I get my answer of $1,242.08. And finally, find 20.4% of $11.96. This is one of those tricky ones. So 20.4 divided by 100 gives us a decimal of 0.204. And if I go 0.204 times $11.96, I get the answer of 2.43984. And because we're dealing with money in this example, I have to round it. So that 9 there, if it's 5 or more, it means the previous number is going up 1. So the 3 turns into a 4, and I'm going to round it to $2.44. Right, thanks very much for watching.